welcome back to my channel. Today, oh my gosh, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 of my most embarrassing moments. So I was tagged to do this video by Rxseskull here on YouTube. I'm going to leave her video down in the description so you can go check her out too. She does amazing videos. She's a beautiful person inside and out. I highly recommend it. If you haven't subscribed to her, go and subscribe. And I think it's cool to kind of look back on these embarrassing moments because, you know, they're like memories and you can kind of laugh about it now, you know. And she also mentioned in her video, instead of just sharing like 10 random facts or whatever to get to know me, why not share the embarrassing moments and, you know, we all have a laugh. So I'm not going to say mine in order from least embarrassing to most embarrassing because I honestly can't do that. I don't know which one is more embarrassing. I think they're all fairly embarrassing, so I'm just going to do it in chronological order. So from my earliest memory embarrassing moments to like the most recent ones, and I have them written down here just so that I don't forget. So let's begin. First embarrassing moment that I can remember is, oh my gosh, okay, so I was little, like probably about 3 or 4 years old, and I was in the bathtub. I was taking my bath. I was happy, nothing was going wrong, you know. I was probably like singing in there, I was scrubbing myself. I was almost done with my bath, and then I like twist my body. I twist so that I can like reach like my hip and like my butt area, I guess you can say. So I twist, and then I see like this spot, like a dot, and I start freaking out. Like I start screaming. I scream to my mom like, "Mama! Mama!" And she like comes in all scared, and like I'm there like panicking, like crying already with tears coming down my face. She's like, "¿Qué, mija? ¿Qué pasa?" And I'm like, un mamá, like a bug. I kept telling her. She's like, ¿Dónde? She couldn't like tell. Like she kept asking me where, and I kept pointing like aquí, like it's literally like right here. Like how can you not see it? And I was freaking out, and then she like couldn't see. She kept on staring like where, and I was just like bawling my eyes out literally. And then like she starts laughing, and I'm like, why the heck is my mom laughing? And then she like touches it. She like puts her finger, she goes like that, and it doesn't move. And I was like all confused. I was like, what? And she's like, ay mija, no es un mamal, es un lunar. So it wasn't a bug. She's telling me like it's not a bug, it's one of those like birthmarks. I have like a bunch of them all over the place, like this, like a dot like this, like you know, it looked like a bug on my butt, and I freaked out. Okay, so maybe at that moment it wasn't too embarrassing with my mom because it's just my mom, but my mom loves to tell this story to like literally everyone she meets and to like literally like everyone she knows. So, and she tells them when I'm there, and I'm just like, Mom, oh my gosh, okay, I was little, like I really thought it was a bug. Next embarrassing moment, let's see, oh my gosh, no, okay. I was apparently a very dumb little kid. Here there used to be a place called Kids Fun. They closed it down. I don't know if it was just here or like in other places, but basically it's like a Peter Piper or like a Chuck E. Cheese where they have like the jungle gym area. They have like the enclosed little play areas and like games and stuff like that. So we had gone to a birthday party, I believe, and it was myself, my sister, my mom, and then I remember like everything was going well, but all the times that I would go inside the jungle gym thing, like the enclosed things, like I don't know what they're called. Like I'll try and find a picture and like put it somewhere, but it's those things that are enclosed and they're like tubes, and like you climb in them and then you go down and then stuff like that. So I would always go in with a group, or at least with one other person. This time I don't know why. I don't remember if I just decided to go by myself or somehow I got left behind. Anyways, point is that I got stuck in there by myself and I couldn't get out. Like I don't know, I couldn't find my way out. Like I remember there was this clear thing, like a clear circle that you could look out to, and I remember staring, and I stayed there, and I was like, oh man, I'm stuck. And I could see from up there, I could see down, and I could see the table where the party was at. And I remember I started feeling like, well, how am I going to get out of here? Then I tried backtracking my steps to get out, and I got lost. Like I didn't know how to get out. So now I was like, okay, let me come back. And then I went back to that circular thing. Then I tried getting out through the proper way, and like there was no way I could get out. I don't know how. I mean, it wasn't like a maze or anything. It wasn't meant to like get lost in. I don't know, I was stupid, I guess. So then I come back to the circular thing, and I'm just like staring down to my mom and to the people at the party, and I literally thought, like literally what went in through my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to see my mom again. And I started crying. Like what? I started crying, and then like these other kids that I don't know, right, they kept on passing and whatever. I was just like there sitting like all sad, and then like I guess I was like kind of scared to like follow them, or I guess I was just too sad. I didn't want them like seeing me cry, so I was like, no, it's okay right now, it'll pass. And then this one girl that I don't know, she was older, she was probably like my sister's age. She sees me crying and she's like, oh my gosh, are you okay? And she was so sweet. So like I don't even know who she was. She helped me out of there. She asked me, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? And then I don't remember what I told her, but I just remember I was just like, I'm stuck or something like that, you know? And so she was like, no, don't worry. Like, and she grabs my hand and she leads me out. I was like so happy. I was like the happiest child there. But oh my gosh, that was embarrassing. And it's embarrassing for me to be telling you guys this right now, because I don't know how I got stuck in there. Who gets stuck in there? Or let me know if you guys got stuck in one of those things before. Please let me know so I don't feel so bad about myself, or so I don't feel so stupid, because oh my gosh. Embarrassing moment number 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was also young, maybe not too young, maybe about like 6 years old or 7 years old. We had gone and we visited one of my mom's friends at her like apartments. And we stayed there for a good while, and then we played with her kids, and then we're all good, la la la. And it was a very cold day. The sidewalks were like frozen, like it had ice, like in parts there's it was like icy. And I remember we were leaving, and right at the exit, like where the gate was to like enter and exit, you know, there was like people standing there, like people there from the apartment. I guess they were just like chilling there. And we're walking out, and then I made a turn, and I literally just like boom, I slipped and I fell like right in front of them, and I was so embarrassed. I felt so embarrassed, but it was so quick. Like it was just like I fell down in a second and I got up like right away, and I just kept on walking. I was like, oh my gosh, don't turn around. That was so embarrassing. Even though I was young, like falling in front of people, like slipping on ice, and it was a pretty bad fall. Like it was embarrassing. And my sister's just there laughing. She's like, ah, and I was just like just keep walking. So that was pretty embarrassing. Embarrassing moment number 4. Oh my goodness, why? Okay, so this was already when I was older, probably like already like in middle school or something. So one of my friends was like in a tennis league. She did tennis, and she was having a tournament that day, and I don't know, I don't really remember what had happened that day. It was just me and my dad for some reason. I don't know where my mom and sister were, but it was just me and my dad, and then her mom was like somewhere up, like sitting down like at some bleachers, but me and my dad, we decided to like walk through, because you could like walk through, there's like several places like this of like tennis courts, and there's like a thing like this to like walk from one to another or whatever. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's like a little thing like this, and like there's tennis courts on the sides. So me and my dad decided to like walk down. We're like, oh, let's go see where she is, and let's go and like see other people be playing tennis. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we walked for a while, and then we stayed where my friend was, and she was playing, and we were watching her from like the sides. And then like there's obviously people like walking back and forth, and then I'm like so distracted. I'm just like so into like whatever's happening on the tennis court. And then like my dad, oh my gosh, okay, some people are walking by, and literally right when they're like behind us, like he lets out a fart, and like a big fart, like, and then he blames it on me. He like farts, and like the people obviously turn around, they're like, what the heck? And then he like turns around, and he was like, and he's like, Ashley, why are you doing that? And like the people then look at me, and they turn to me, and I look at them, and I'm like, I was speechless. I was like, oh my gosh, and I could feel myself turning red. I was like, why did my dad just do that? Like, it was embarrassing. Moment number 5. Now we're getting into high school. So this was the summer between freshman and sophomore year. So I had just finished being a freshman. I was going into sophomore year. I was in orchestra, and each summer they would take a trip for those who wanted to go give a concert somewhere, you know. Sometimes we would take a vote of where we wanted to go. So this summer we went to Quebec City, Canada, and Montreal. And oh my gosh, it was literally the first day we were there. Okay, so we landed like around evening, we had dinner, and then we just went straight to the hotel. The next day we woke up, whatever, blah blah blah. And then we have a, like, just for us, it was just a bus for us, and we went sightseeing. And I remember we had lunch on our own, and we did, I had a couple friends there that went, but for some reason they decided to go somewhere else, and then it was just me and my another friend, so it was just 2 of us. We decided to go off somewhere because we wanted something like authentic, like French, because we're like in the, you know, Quebec City. So we wanted like, oh, let's go find like a really good like French cafe or a restaurant or whatever. So not only was it far away from the meeting point of where the bus was, and we had like probably like 45 minutes for lunch, we had a really hard time deciding where we wanted to go. So finally when we decided, we walked into the restaurant, and then first of all they greet us like in French, and we're just like, I don't know what you're saying, like just for two, yeah, okay. They sat us down, and then we see like some people from our orchestra, they were there, and we're like, oh, okay. Well, they had already sat down, they got there previously because we took so long trying to decide where we wanted to eat. So then we finally sit down, and I was so super excited. I was like, yes, like we're gonna have delicious crepes, and oh, it's delicious, it smells so good. And then we ordered quite quickly because we knew we were limited on time. And then we were ordering, and then the other people from our group, they're already getting their meals, and we're like, oh my gosh, well, we're gonna make it on time. Yeah, whatever. I wasn't worrying too much then. And then they started taking forever to bring us out our food. I was like, oh my gosh, literally, like, we're not gonna make it on time. And then my friend's like, yeah, we'll be fine, like, whatever. The people from our group, they finished, and we still didn't have our food. They leave, and I was like freaking out. By this point, I was like freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. I think we only had like about 15 minutes left. I was like, they better bring us out our food. We have to eat quick, and we have to get to the bus. So finally they give us our food. We're eating. We're like, oh, this is so good. Yes, blah, blah. And we're like, let's go. Let's go now. We start walking. Like I said, it was a pretty far away place where the restaurant was, and between the restaurant and where the bus was. We're like power walking. We're like, oh, we're gonna make it. We keep checking the time, like, okay, we're gonna make it. We're good on time. We're going, and then it was like a big hill. Like, it's a big hill. Like this was one street. There was like a big hill like this, and the bus was on top of here, and there's like a hotel. There's a hotel in front of it from across the street. I see the bus. I'm like, oh my gosh, we made it. We start walking up the hill. You know, we're all tired, we're exhausted. We're like, oh my gosh, we were power walking for such a long time. And then, oh my gosh, we see the bus literally moving. It's like this. And then our faces are just like, so we start running up the hill, and like there's people on the streets, obviously, you know, and they're looking at us kind of like, what are these girls doing? We're running. And then we're like waving our hands like, ah, you know, like, I don't know, they start leaving. And then it kind of slowed down. We're like, okay, good, they saw us. So we start slowing down. We're like, oh, okay, good. And then it just takes off, and we're like, ah! It left without us. Our bus left without us. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we got up to the top of the hill, and my friend is freaking out. She's like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? They're gonna get mad at us. And then I was laughing because I thought it was pretty fun. I was like, maybe it's a joke. They're gonna come back for us. No, it was not a joke. The guy, the doorman to the hotel that was across the street from where the bus was laughing at us. Like, he was literally like cracking up. And I was like looking at him, and I was like, look at, I was talking to my friend, he's laughing at us, and she's like, I don't care, we're stranded, we're left behind, like how are we gonna get back to the hotel, like we don't have a ride, blah blah blah. And I was like cracking. I was like, this is hilarious. It was embarrassing because yeah, there's people staring at us. She's freaking out. The guy in front, he's like laughing at us because we got left behind by our bus. And I was like, well, it's their fault because they didn't do the head count correctly. So I didn't have service there at the time. I don't know, I had like a sucky phone or something, I don't know. I didn't have service. I was like telling her, just text someone, like text some of our friends. And she's like, okay, like okay. I should send a quick text down. She was like, you guys left us behind. And then finally when he checks the text message, she was like, okay, we're on our way to get you. It took like probably like another 15 minutes. And like we're just there standing there like idiots. We're like, all right. And at this time, like my friend is still freaking out. She was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get in trouble. Finally the bus, we see the bus coming around, and so right there in front of us, me and my friend were just like, okay, let's get on. And then you see our teacher just comes walking down the stairs with like this stare. It was so scary. She's like, go over there. And we're like, okay. So like we're standing there, and then she starts scolding us like in front of everyone, like in the streets, and like you could see the people on the bus like this, like, you know, like peeking through their windows like that. So I see that in the background. I see the people around me. I see my friend freaking out, and I have a smirk on my face. I'm like, this is pretty funny, you know. I don't know, a lot of things were going on through my head, and she's like telling us blah 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 blah, you're supposed to be here on time. And then I tried to explain to her like, hey, the restaurant kind of took long, you know, like it's not our fault, you know, we were literally waving at you guys. So whatever. I had a smirk on my face. I was like giggling, and then she looks at me and she calls me by my full first name, because you guys know me by just Ashley, but if you don't know, my full first name is Ashley Colleen. It's like 2 names in one. Anyways, she called me by my full first name, and she was like so mad. Ashley Colleen, you want me to send you home? And then I was like right away, no. I got so scared when she told me that. I was scared. And then I forgot what she told me. She's like, get back on the bus. So we go walking, and you know how those buses are. There's just like 2 seats on each side, and there's like a tiny aisle. We get on the bus, and literally the only seats that are left are like towards the back. So of course we have to walk through all of our peers staring at us. Everything was so quiet. That was like the quietest I think I've ever heard, or never not heard. You know what I mean, you know, like when it's like really quiet and you're just walking and you're just like, yeah, like we got in trouble, we got left behind. Like that's embarrassing. Like I'm just saying, for those people that were in charge of taking the head count, you guys didn't count correctly because we weren't there. Just saying. Number 6, okay, also in high school, and this happened several times. I don't know what it was. I guess I'm just like super clumsy. There are several times that I fell, walking up the stairs. Like, who does that? Like, okay, if you're gonna fall on the stairs, like I imagine like people falling when they're walking down, but who falls walking up the stairs? And that happened several times to me. Never have I like really, I don't think I've ever fallen like walking down the stairs, but I've fallen so many times walking up the stairs. Like I don't know what it is. Like I want to skip a step, or I miss a step, or I don't know what it is, and I just like boom several times. And that just happened in high school. And again, like I fall. It's funny because each time I would fall, like I remember like I just fall and I just like look around like, oh my gosh, like who saw that? And then I just get back up and I keep on walking. But I mean, those moments are embarrassing too, you know. So falling on the stairs, it's embarrassing, and yes, it happened to me several times. So oh, embarrassing moment number 7, also in high school. I had a lot of embarrassing moments in high school. So all right, so I was stung by a wasp in the classroom. It was, I remember I remember this very well. I was a sophomore in high school, and I was in biology class. We were doing a lab because I remember we were at our desks. We were at the lab tables. We were doing something with like microscopes or something. I had flip-flops on, okay? It was a hot day. It was like sometime in September. It's like really hot where I live. So where was I? Okay, I was wearing flip-flops, and then we're there like doing something like on top of the tables, right? And I feel like this like kind of like fuzzy feeling, or like ticklish feeling like on my toe. I didn't look down. I just go with my other foot and I like scratch it. You know, like when like your foot is here and then you take your other foot and you scratch it like that. Like that's what I was doing. And then it went away, and then I start feeling like tickling again. I'm like I thought it was just a hair, so I tried going like this, you know, and then I was like, ah. So I did that like 3 times, and after the 3rd time of like scratching like my feet together, I feel like this burning sensation. I was like, ouch, like what is this that's hurting me? I look down and it's a freaking wasp on my toe. And I was like, I start freaking out. Like no one had noticed, but I look down and I start freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And they're like, what? And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I was like, I couldn't talk. And then I was just like pointing down. I was like, and they're like, what? And then like the person that was next to me, my lab partner, he looks down and he's like, oh my gosh, you're getting stung. And I'm like, yeah, it hurts. I was like, go get the teacher, go get the teacher. It hurts so bad. So the teacher comes over, and I'm like, I'm putting my foot up to her, and I'm like, teacher, take it off. It was hilarious. So she didn't send me to the nurse's office. I don't think I wanted to go. I was like, no, just take it off. And then she had like some things there, thankfully, to like clean it off or whatever, or to kind of make it feel better. It got so swollen. It's the second to last toe. So it's the second to last pinky toe. Like, what? You know? Yeah. The pinky toe, the one next to it, the second smallest, on my left foot. It got so pink and so swollen. Yeah, and that happened during class, and it was the good thing that it wasn't too early on in the morning. It was already like after lunch. It was actually my class right after lunch, so I still had like half the day to go, I guess. But I couldn't walk. Like I would be walking to my next class like all limping, and like, I mean, besides the fact getting stung in class was embarrassing enough, now I have to be like limping to class, like, and people just staring at me like, what does this girl have? Like without crutches, you know, like I'm just like, oh, okay, here I go. My toe got so huge and pink. I'm telling you guys, it was horrible. And after that day, I am terrified. I'm terrified of bees, wasps, like everything they get near me. I'm like freaking out, like more than I was before. Like after that, I'm traumatized now. We're almost done, guys. Bear with me. They're getting funny, I know, yeah. Make fun of me. Embarrassing moment number 8. Okay. Oh, okay, so this was already in college. this was the night I first met Victor. For those of you who don't know, Victor is now my husband. Okay, so this was the first night I met Victor. I went out to like to a dancing club with a friend, like, you know, where they play banda, norteñas, cumbias, you know, all that type of stuff. And then I had heels on, you know, because your girl needs to look cute. So it was packed because that day it was a Jenny Rivera imitator. Is that what you call it? Like, this was like after Jenny Rivera like had passed. So this lady looked a lot like her, and she like did her show. So it was packed of people, and we didn't reserve a table, none of that. And I had heels. I got tired by the end of the night, and it was already like around 1:30ish, 1:40ish. The place closes at 2, so it was almost, you know, the night was ending. So Victor comes over, and then he's like, do you want to dance? And I kind of look at my friend, and I'm like, oh, my feet kind of hurt. I don't know if I want to dance. But I'm not going to say no, you know. So I was like, okay, I can stand like another 30 minutes. It's fine. I'll just suck it up. So then we start dancing, and we're having a good time. We're talking, you know, one song after the other. And then they start playing the last song. They announce, oh, this is the last song, blah, blah, blah. And then we're dancing. And then this guy, Victor, he decides to pick me up. He like literally picks me up. He's like, from like my waist, he picks me up, and he's carrying me around the dance floor. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this guy doing? Like, not only did I just meet him, but like, why would he do that? Like, he's carrying me, and like these people like are like obviously looking at the people at the dance floor. And I remember like I'm like over his shoulder kind of, and I'm like ah. You know, but looking back at it now, it's kind of cute. So, you know, embarrassing it, but cute now. So embarrassing moment number 9. Okay, so me and Victor are already going out. We had barely started dating. So we were like 3 or 4 months into the relationship, and then he had invited me to like this party at one of his friends' house. So I don't remember exactly what had happened at my house, but I'm pretty sure I was sensitive that day. I wasn't on my period or anything, but I was sensitive. Like, something that happened at home that it got me like kind of like emotional. Like, I don't know, but whatever. So that night I go with Victor to his friend's house, and then they're having a party, and it's not like a huge party, but it's not just like a small kickback either. And then like they had like 2 tables of like beer pong, and like oh, excuse me, I was kind of like, you know, not feeling it too much because of whatever had happened at home. And then like I get a call from my mom, and I answer. Like, I kind of like walk away, and I answer, and I'm just like, whatever, you know, yeah, I'm okay, you know, trying to hold back whatever. I don't even remember what happened, trying to hold back some tears. But then I hang up with my mom, and then like I can feel my tears like already happening, and like I'm like, don't cry, Ashley, don't cry, like, you're fine, like, don't cry. And then I turn around, like right when I turn around and I'm walking back, like someone throws like the pong ball, and like it bounces somehow, and it comes and it hits me in the face. And then at that moment, like, my tears start coming down, and like I'm like, oh my gosh, why am I crying? Like, I didn't cry because the ball hit me, but that's what the people thought. And then I kind of got like the feeling that the people are like, oh my gosh, who's this girl that Victor brought over? Why is she crying because we hit her with a ball or something? Like, it doesn't even hurt. It's like, you know, like, you know the type of balls. And like, I didn't cry because of that. I was already sensitive and emotional because of previous things, and my tears were already coming out. And then right at the moment when they hit me in the head, I was like tears came down, and I was just like, all right. And then finally, embarrassing moment number 10. Okay, I was in college. I was taking, this happened in my political science class. I think it was like the second part to political science, because I only had to take 2 classes. I took one semester, and then the second part the next semester. So I only had this class Tuesdays and Thursdays. I only had 2 classes that day. I had political science and then another one afterwards. But I remember all the time I would wake up with just enough time just to wake up, get ready, leave the house, get to parking, and walk to my class. Like, I had everything like timed, you know, like everything was timed. I'm like, okay, this, like one right after the other. I don't know, for whatever reason, this day, like, I just got ready faster, or like things moved a little bit quicker. So I would always walk into that class like with like 2 minutes, 3 minutes to spare, you know. So people would already be sitting there waiting for the professor and for the class to start. This day again, like, I don't know why, for whatever reason, things were moving a little bit faster. So I get to school, you know, like I'm walking, like I guess your body just gets used to like the pace that you walk to class. So I'm walking, and then I get to my classroom, and then I open the door, and then nothing seems out of the normal because, you know, I'm used to like seeing the people like be seated already. I open, I see the people, and then I just like start walking, and then I sit down. But like as I'm walking, like I did notice like some stairs, but then I just sit down, and then when I sit down, like that's when I notice, I look at the professor, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not my professor. And like he kept on talking, but he kind of also like gave me that look like, okay, but like he kept on talking, and like I did, like some people were like staring at me like, who is this chick? And I was like, oh my gosh, this isn't my class. So it was the correct classroom, but I had just walked into the previous like class, so I was embarrassed. I was like, well, what do I do now? And then I checked the time, and I was like, yeah, I'm early. Like, I don't know why am I early? Like, I'm never early, and I was early this day. So it was so embarrassing. So I was like, do I stay here? Do I walk out? No, if I walk out, it's gonna be more embarrassing. So I just stayed in there, and I was like, okay. And then he dismissed the classroom, and then I was just like left there, and I was like, boy, that was the most mortifying thing I think has ever happened in my adult life. Those were my 10 embarrassing moments of my life. I've had many more, but those are the ones that I decided to share with you guys, and that I'm probably gonna remember more later. But anyways, I am going to tag some of you. So I tag everyone who watches this video and that wants to participate. Of course, if I don't say your name or if it's not listed down in the description, don't feel bad, don't feel sad or whatever. If you want to do it, go, by all means do it, please. Like I would love to hear your stories. All right, but the people that I do think are up for this and that I am going to say their names. All right, I'm gonna say their YouTube name. So I tag MagdalineJanet, girl, you gotta do this. Rose Josephine, Ivory Cherry, Micheala Alexis, nvrshoutamanda, Leanna Quatro, I believe that's how you say your last name, right? Leanna, Nikki Valenzuela, Christina Savage, Flores, and Nicole Rodriguez. So I tag you, girls. It's fun, it's fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys got a good laugh out of this. I know I did, remembering these things. Like, I'm sweating over here, and I hope I didn't get like red like during the video, but I feel like hot right now and sweating. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you like, and I'll talk to you guys soon.